In April of 1951, 70 years ago as of the release of this video, musical act Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats would release a song that many music writers consider to be the first rock and roll record. This would be 2 years before Elvis Presley would release his first record, and 3 years before Bill Haley and his Comets would release their 1954 smash hit Rock Around the Clock. While the true title of the first rock and roll song will forever be disputed, there are several pioneering elements that makes Rocket 88 a worthy contender. But before we dive into the musical components of this song, let's first examine how this song came to be. 19-year-old Ike Turner, yes, the same Ike Turner from the Ike and Tina Turner music duo, walked into a small Memphis recording studio along with his backing band, the Kings of Rhythm. The band wanted to create an ode to the fastest American car at the time, the Oldsmobile Rocket 88. Released by Chess Records and produced by Sam Phillips, the song was credited to Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats. In actuality, Jackie Brenston was the saxophonist of the Kings of Rhythm who sang the lead vocals on the song, while the Delta Cats was Ike Turner and the rest of his band. Each member of the band was only paid about $20 for the session, which would amount to about $200 nowadays. The song was an unexpected hit, topping the best-selling R&B records chart on June 9, 1951. Sam Phillips loved what he'd heard and would purchase the rights to the song from Jackie Brenston for $910, or about $9,300 when adjusted for inflation. This purchase would benefit Phillips immensely, as the royalties to the song allowed him to establish his own label called Sun Records. Founded in February of 1952, Sun Records would become the first label to record rock and roll legends such as the likes of Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Charlie Rich, Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, and Elvis Presley.
You ain't nothing but...
With the royalties enabling Phillips to establish Sun Records, Rocket 88 at the very least played a major role in the development of rock and roll music. So what makes Rocket 88 the first rock song ever recorded? Regarding the musical elements, the song combines swing music along with up-tempo blues. This up-tempo blues music is known as jump blues, which serves as a precursor to rock music in the late 1940s.
Walking with my baby, she got great big feet. She's long, lean, and lank, and ain't had nothing to eat, but she's my baby.
The vocals on the song by Brenston were uniquely energetic for the time. Perhaps the key reason that Rocket 88 is the first rock song is due to the pioneering work of Willie Kizart. As the guitarist of Kings of Rhythm, Kizart unintentionally developed a new sound while the band was traveling from Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee. While driving on Highway 61, Kizart's amplifier was damaged during the trip. Upon realizing that his speaker had torn, Phillips made an attempt to hold the cone in place by stuffing the amp with newspaper. As a result, when Kizart played the guitar, it created a unique, fuzzy, and distorted sound that would become a staple of rock and roll music. Phillips liked the sound and quoted as saying, "The more unconventional it sounded, the more interested I would become in it." Regarding the sound of Rocket 88, Time would publish the following review, and I quote, "Rocket 88 was brash and it was sexy. It took elements of the blues, hammered them with rhythm and attitude and electric guitar, and reimagined black music into something new. If the blues seemed to give voice to old wisdom, this new music seemed full of youthful notions. If the blues was about squeezing cathartic joy out of the bad times, this new music was about letting the good times roll. If the blues was about earthly troubles, the rock that Turner's crew created seemed to shout that the sky was now the limit." Sam Phillips, among many other music writers, would declare that Rocket 88 is the first rock and roll record. Little Richard would credit the song as a major influence on his own work, and even took the piano intro from Rocket 88 for his own 1958 rock song, Good Golly Miss Molly.
Good golly, Miss Molly, sure like the bone.
At the end of the day, however, determining the first rock and roll record is ultimately a fruitless task. Ike Turner himself would disagree with the notion that Rocket 88 is the first rock song, stating during an interview, and I quote, "I don't think that Rocket 88 is rock and roll. I think that Rocket 88 is R&B, but I think Rocket 88 is the cause of rock and roll existing. One historian named Nigel Williamson would argue Rocket 88 is a transitional song that bridged the gap between genres. This argument is certainly a valid one, with some pointing out that the shuffle rhythm of the song is far more in line with R&B music than rock. Some argue that the first rock and roll song was written even earlier, with the song That's All Right Mama by Arthur Big Boy Crudup in 1946 being the actual title holder.
Well, now that's all right, now, mama. That's all right for you.
While the attempt to pinpoint the first rock song will forever be debated, Rocket 88 undoubtedly influenced countless musicians and reshaped the musical landscape in the decades to come.